We all want this pandemic to end, but in order to end COVID-19 and rebuild our economies, we're going to have to beat this virus everywhere. That's why the race is on to find a safe and effective vaccine. But the pandemic won't end with the vaccine. It'll end when everyone gets it. Starting with the most at risk, like healthcare workers and the elderly, regardless of whether they live in New York City or Nairobi. Sounds pretty straightforward, right? Well, it's not. First of all, when the first vaccine does become available, there initially won't be enough for everyone who needs one, and widespread access to vaccines is not usually what happens anyways, even in normal times. It typically takes up to 7 years for a vaccine to become available in a low-income country after it's available in a high-income country. Plus, vaccines are expensive and take a lot of resources to manage. For example, some vaccines require refrigeration at very cold temperatures, which can be challenging in areas with no electricity. Even worse, during global pandemics, vaccines and medications are typically sold off to the highest bidder, leaving people in poorer countries high and dry. We're already seeing this happen with COVID-19 vaccines. A small group of wealthy countries has already purchased more than half of the expected supply of leading vaccine candidates. Not only is this morally wrong, but it will make the pandemic last longer for all of us, further impacting our well-being and our wallets. The data is clear that hoarding vaccines in rich countries will result in more deaths and a slower economic recovery. And that's not what anyone wants. We can't afford to be in this never-ending vaccine rat race. But there are things governments and pharmaceutical companies can do to get all of us over the finish line faster. But when it comes to big initiatives like this, accountability is key. That's why we've created the Vaccine Access Test, which keeps track of the countries and companies that are making fair vaccine distribution a priority, and those that are not, and also offers solutions to help everyone get to green. Because the race to end COVID-19 isn't over until everyone everywhere crosses the finish line with a safe and effective vaccine. And it's up to these governments and pharmaceutical companies to make sure that happens. But here's something that you can do right now to help. Sign our petition demanding pharmaceutical companies to play their part by committing to fair and transparent prices of vaccines globally. It's time to tell governments and business leaders to do what it takes to end this pandemic everywhere, because none of us are safe until all of us are safe. Take action now at one.org.